welcome to 327. My name is Keith Andrew, and I'm here as Dean Phillippi Sr., and I just want to say thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here with you.
No, the honor's all mine. For people who want to know the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still amount to something. That labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. You should prove to them you can break the labels. So hashtag break the labels. That being said, a half hour, 45 minutes of your time. That being said, you can say anything you want, talk about anything you want, curse if you want to, freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I currently live here in Jacksonville, Florida. I moved down from Pennsylvania in 1982. And I've been in the acting career for at least a total of about 12 years. And I retired here in 2010. Was in a career with computers, and I retired as a vice president at J.P. Morgan Chase. And I always wanted to get into full-time in acting. So as soon as I retired, I dove right into acting classes. And then based on that, I started throwing my career basically out to everybody to do films. And locally here in Jacksonville, there was a lot of short films that take place. And so I jumped into those short films. And then since then, it's progressed to be able to be honored and blessed to be able to do feature films and commercials and print shoots. And actually, I've done a few music videos and so forth. So right now, being retired, I'm full-time as an actor and enjoying it and loving it. I really do love acting. I played a variety of roles. Basically, a lot of the roles that I've played has been as a pastor. Here most recently, I played a U.S. president in a TV series that's called Counterintelligence. And I've played a judge several times as a police officer. Basically, executive roles and priest. Oh my goodness! I've done a variety, which is diverse, and the opportunity there, Keith, is it allows me to express the opportunities of the roles that I can do, my width of what I can handle and play. And most certainly it is challenging to say the least, because each one of them is a different character. Obviously being the president, you have to be very stoic and present yourself in an executive manner, speak in an executive manner, and then the doctor roles is knowing what you're doing when you're playing the role, and the pastor role is rather challenging too. So it gives me the opportunity. One of the things that I love doing right now is faith-based films, and so when I say that, there's films going around that are being developed in pre-production, and so I audition for those. And at the same time, there's a lot of talent of people out there at my age generation. And it's very competitive. So, if I don't get the audition or the opportunity, then, I feel good for them, because, I'm not envious or anything to that matter. Obviously, I want the role, but if the person looks the look, acts the role, has the appeal, that's all that matters. And so I keep striving to get the main roles, to get the good roles, and preferably in faith-based films. This year I've done, it's called Losing Faith. It'll come out this year. I play a pastor in that one, Pastor Cobb. And then here I traveled up to Nashville, Tennessee, and I did a film called Summer of '67, and I play a second lieutenant in that film, and it's about during the Vietnam War, and so it's rather interesting. So the faith-based films, to that extent, are the ones that I get to travel to quite often. To be very honest, I have to go to Gastonia, North Carolina here in the next month, and I'm very honored to play a role in that one. It's called Finding Christmas, and it'll be a faith-based film. And so here in the North Florida, faith-based is really not predominant. We're looking to bring it here, to be very honest. I'm talking to directors and producers to bring the films here to North Florida. I've read scripts that are faith-based, and to be very honest, Keith, we have the talent, the crew that can do it here in North Florida. So I'm doing my best to bring them here to this general area. North Florida is a great area to do films. So right now, at my point in life, I'm enjoying doing my acting career, and I do a lot of things on my own as far as personal life. I love kayaking. My wife loves kayaking with me, so we go out at least twice a month and go camping to that extent. And at this point in my life, this is my second career that I'm doing, but it's very, very challenging. Let's just say that. And challenging means similar to what you have in life, where I don't have the full potential to do the large Hollywood films to that extent, and I want to. So just like you, there's nothing holding me back. And first off, I do want to say this to you. God bless you for what you're doing. And I really encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And I'll say to you, I'm very proud of you for what you're doing. And the sky's the limit. Keep aiming for the stars, Keith. And what I mean by that is, the man above those stars is looking down upon you and shining, and he's blessing every moment. So that's the person that I'm doing all this for. And I enjoy it, and I love doing what I'm doing now. And I just wish there was more opportunities. I'm a late bloomer in life in my age category. I play a lot of roles as a grandfather. So in the faith-based films, I end up being a grandfather, which is awesome, which is great. I'm fine with that. There was another faith-based film I did this year that's not out yet called Connected at the Heart. And that's a beautiful opportunity there, too, if you get to see that. So at this point in my life, this is what I'm doing, the filming acting career. I'm enjoying every moment of it. And then on a personal level, I'm enjoying every moment I have with my wife and keeping her busy and happy in life as well. But Keith, thank you for what you're doing. I admire you for what you're doing, and you're definitely on track with showing the potential that everybody can bring out in themselves. Even though there's constraints or hardships or disabilities, whatever it may be, you're not letting that slow you down whatsoever. So thank you for what you're doing, and God bless you too with that as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and this is what I want to do until I die. I'm not saying that to be cute or funny. I want to become, not like an A-list celebrity, but maybe like a B-list, C-list, or maybe a D-list. I would like to be remembered as someone who made a difference in someone's life. Yes, I do. I know it sounds like an oxymoron saying I do want to become famous, but it's just, hey, you live only once, so you got to do what you have to do. But at the same time, you have to stay humbled and respectful. At the same time,
Right. Yeah. And that is so instrumental, and that's key to what you just said. You have to stay humble, humble with God, but also humble in your life. And that's when I mentioned that in my age, Jenner, there's a lot of talented men my age. So I have to be humble and respect that. And but at the same time, just as yourself, it gives you that extra incentive to prove yourself, to do. I can do that, and watch me and learn. And so that's the attitude that I've picked up is learn from the others, respect from the others, but at the same time, you either present yourself as a Volkswagen or a Cadillac, in a layman's terms of saying, and you sell yourself as a Cadillac or a Volkswagen. Which one is it? And depends on, people may love Volkswagens to that extent, but I'm just talking about the value and the type of style that you present with yourself. Do you shine? Do you do you do your best? But that has a lot to do with what you're doing and what I'm doing in my personal life too. Is just I give 110%, and and if I go to an audition and I give it and I don't get it, then I'll just turn that switch off and focus on the next one. And you become really hard-skinned at that, but it's a good lesson learned. The word humbled, and so you walk away and just you don't give up, but you stay. You stay the course. And that's the goal that I've done in my life, is just stay the course and don't give up. And don't let anybody distract you or belittle you to that extent. Because, this career that I'm in, I do find out that it can be challenging to the point where, you have to be sometimes deaf ears to some of the negative things that are said. But you have to keep your ears wide open to what the directors and the casting agents have to say. What I mean by that is, they may say negative things to help you be better,
right,
to make you do a better person and be a better person and be able to audition better. And that's what they're looking for in the screen. So, humble plays a big role in my life, and that's a true award.
Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you some more easy and hard-hitting questions.
Okay, alrighty.
Video message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shoutouts, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre, buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
I'm so bored.
Want to see something really cool?
Yeah!
Now you'll never be bored again with Loot Crate, a totally bodacious mystery box packed with awesome toys, radical games, and other surprises. And the best part is, you can get Loot Crate delivered right to your door. So don't delay. Ask your parents and order today.
Everything okay in there? Yeah, everything great. I love Loot Crate.
Batteries not included.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 327. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Mr. Dean. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is the new subject I came up with, and it's all over the place, is social media. Can social media make you or break you? And now I know you're retired, so I want to ask you, with social media, are you satisfied with your career? And do you think social media would have made it better for you? Or at this point, you really don't care about social media?
Wow, there's a lot to answer to that one, but let me give it my best shot. And you're talking about social media, right?
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter,
Yeah,
Instagram.
Facebook, yeah. Well, in this career, an acting career, especially with independent films, all the films, the directors, casting agents put all their information out on Facebook. So to that extent, majority of our search for opportunities is done via Facebook. And easily said, I could probably spend a minimum of 2 hours a day searching on Facebook every day for opportunities for maybe faith-based films or print shoots or commercials, whatever it may be. Now, yes, my agents work with me to give me opportunities, but 99% of the time, the independent films are posted on Facebook. So that's a livelihood there that a lot of people have. There's no search tool in Facebook to be able to just email you, oh, here's the cast scenes that I'm found for today. That doesn't happen. So you got to manually check each one, and you got a friend. You have to friend with the director, and then the producer, and then their production company, and then if they have a movie, like their movie. So now you're monitoring just for one event 4 different opportunities, not counting how many directors there are in the United States. So it can be a cumbersome thing, and you just can't go out there and say, I just want to see anything that's faith-based films. There's nothing unique to that either. So it has a whole lot to do with social media. Today seems to be the tool of anybody looking for independent films, to be very honest. So is it crucial? Well, I have an actor page out there, and along with my personal page. So I advertise the films that I do, the pictures that we do in the background, and the final screens or anything. And so yes, when a director or producer or casting agent is searching and they look at my actor page, it plays a role. Okay, so social media has become very a predominant thing, may I say, in the independent film opportunities. And then there's the IMDb. So that's something that's, truth be told, of all the films or commercials or whatever it may be that you true to life appeared in. So that IMDb has to match your resume. So a lot of directors, producers, casting agents go to your IMDb on the web, and then see what roles that you played, or were you a lead, were you supporting or extra, and did you work with these particular directors, and what was the setting, and so forth. So, gee whiz, I never was a heavy-duty social media person until I got into this career, and it's something that my wife doesn't enjoy when I'm 2 hours on Facebook per day looking for opportunities. Now she understands now to that extent. Let's put it that way, but I don't either, and I don't like to be on there that very long, but I do. So. Social media, to answer your question, seems to be a up-and-coming opportunity that it promotes yourself, but at the same time, for me in this career, it helps me find opportunities. And also, it's almost like your online resume, to be very honest. So, yeah, it plays a big role.
But do you think it can also break you at the same time?
Yes, it can. I think you can overdo it. And, I've seen people abuse it where, some films, they don't want you to put posts out there, pictures or whatever. And I've seen people actually do that. And they've been dropped from a film. I've seen that happen. So I think, to the most part, for a good example would be if you're doing a lot of horror films, and then all of a sudden you do faith-based, that can play against you, because they're seeing out there that, this is basically what he's been doing all his life. Wonder why this person is doing faith-based now, and so forth. Now, on the other side of that is, here in North Florida, I don't have a lot of faith-based, so I'm doing locals. So, yeah, there could be a percentage of what I do is not faith-based. They're good character roles, but they're not faith-based. So that could be detrimental. Or, if a person is venting on Facebook or showing nasty pictures, whatever, that can be detrimental to your career and your person himself. A lot of people could be just discouraged by it and so forth. I've actually seen where political conflicts have happened on the internet. Who was voting for president, and it still continues, to be very honest. So people have just unfriended people or blasted other people for the fact that they voted for this particular person or they like this other person. So could it be detrimental? Yes, it could. It could play a role. There's many of opportunities that can be done, via Facebook. There's many opportunities that can happen in that, I'm sure.
No, I agree with you. And a perfect example is something that's going on for a couple of years ago. Is when they were going carry on about Black Lives Matter. I and my friend was going on about it. And I said, look, all lives matter. And she says, don't start that garbage with me.
Yeah. I saw those conversations, not yours, but several of that. And I have friends that are policemen. So there's been Police Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And, every ethnicity, you name it, I've seen a lot of the challenging things. And, I don't respond to anything anymore or voice my input, because if you do, somebody has a difference of opinion. And, everybody's got their own mindset and their own beliefs. Let's put it that way. It may be that how they grew up or their personal lives or effect of something in their lives or whatever it may be. And, you have to be fair and equal, to me, with everybody you deal with, especially on social media. It's just the way it is. If you respond to something, well, expect a challenge to it. Let's put it that way, in a polite way. So yeah, it can be very challenging. Let's put it that.
Well, it's pretty interesting how people act all big and bad behind a computer screen. When you actually do it in person, they act like a wuss.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I can understand that too.
Now, the last couple minutes, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there anything you wanted to promote? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to ask me? This is your time, after all.
Well, let's see. I sent you something I'm very proud of. It's called if you heard of the Define magazine. It's a magazine that's out of New York, and they did an article on me in 2005. It was titled "A Super Bowl Prayer That Came True," and it was just published here just last month, and it was about a true story that happened to me in my life during the Super Bowl event, and it's a long story. I don't want to go into it, but I was a bodyguard for Paul McCartney of the Beatles during the Super Bowl, and a lot of things that happened on that, and an old prayer came up that my mother and I did together when I was 10 years old that came true. So they just published that. That's something I'm very proud of. And the whole article I dedicated to my mother. And it's out there, and if you read it, it's in the Define magazine for last month that they was published. And but yeah, I guess promotional wise, we're doing a TV series right now called Replica, and it's a pilot right now, and we're hoping that it picks up. Someone in LA will pick it up and run with it, and we're doing it here in Jacksonville. And it's got a lot of awesome cast and crew, the directors, producers, and again, it's called Replica. And my role in that one is I'm a CEO of a pharmaceutical corporation, and I really play a challenging role, to say the least. And it brings a character out of me, but I'm a billionaire with lots of money, and I got a lot of power. So being as a mayor with that, I can do a lot of damage, or I can be influential or supportive. So
Right.
they're going to have me do all three of those roles pretty much in this series. And I just finished up a role as a U.S. president in the counterintelligence. It's going to be a TV series as well, and that's going to be here next month to that extent. This year I finished up a film called Connected at the Heart, where I play a pastor in that one. Another one called Losing Faith. I'm a pastor in that one as well. That's a faith-based film. Summer of '67, I play a second lieutenant in that one. That was done up in Nashville. And another role I did up in Savannah, Georgia, called The Answer. It's a faith-based film. I play a judge, and which is rather interesting. I speak from the Bible in the judge role, so it's an awesome opportunity, and I can't wait to see that one. That's a feature film, and there's a few others. One of them, this is back to what I mentioned to you, the roles that I play in. One's called Candy Cane Killer, and I'm a news reporter in that one, a live TV anchor on a TV station. So I play a good role in that one, but the name of the film, dictates that it's pretty much a horror film, is what it is. And then there's quite a few others. I play. They did a local film here called Ortega River Rats, and if there was a true story about here in Jacksonville, Florida, where Machine Gun Kelly came to visit, and he lived in a house, and it was actually owned by Al Capone, and this is true. And the police found out, the local police in that area found out that Machine Gun Kelly was there, and they did a raid on the home, and surprisingly he had got out, so they think he snuck out via a tunnel underneath the home. Well, I play the policeman looking for Machine Gun Kelly in that film.
Oh, nice.
So that was a fun one there too. I wore the police uniform from back then. I looked like the Maytag Washer guy, that's with the hat and so forth. It was the bow tie, so it was a fun film.
And
so anyway, but as far as promotion, I would love everybody if they could visit my actor page. I would be honored. Be very honored, and I have an IMDb out there as well under Dean Phillippi Sr. And again, Keith, thank you for what you do. It's an honor to talk to you, sir. I have all the high respect for you and what you're doing, and God gives you strength, and use that to do what you're doing. This is awesome that you're doing this too, by the way. Thank you for the opportunity to do this with you as well. And keep smiling like you are and doing what you're doing. And that's the strength. That your smile, the smile shows the strength that you have within yourself. That's how I feel. But thank you for the opportunity.
No, absolutely. And to one more question I was going to ask you, but to go back to your movies, you also were in SpongeBob the movie.
I'm sorry?
Oh, you were in SpongeBob, right?
Oh, yes, yeah. That was with Antonio Banderas, and I play a street merchant. And he was an awesome guy to get to meet personally, and just super friendly. open and comical too, you know. And I didn't realize how short he was when I met him, but it was quite an honor to do that. That's a cartoon film. I guess on the other, right after that one, I did Rob Schneider, the comedian. I did his reality TV show with him I played a business executive in one of them. So that was an honor too, to get to meet him and talk with him. And his wife is in it with him since it's a reality TV show, and he's just as comical as he is in true life as he is on stage. And just funny character guy, but very personable too as well. So I've got to meet him twice and work with him twice. So yeah, SpongeBob too was a fun one. You know, that's a cartoon characterization film, and Antonio Banderas plays like a pirate in that one.
I think Rob Schneider, he is funny, but the one movie that comes to mind that was really funny was Animal.
Oh yeah,
I like the bathroom scene.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, he's done quite a few. Let's put it that way. And now he's doing a comedy tour across the United States. At the same time, he's doing that reality TV show. I don't know how he juggles it, but he's doing it. And just about every film that Adam Sandler does, he's been in the background of that, you know, or in it. Let's put it that way. But yeah, he's got the chime called "You Can Do It" tagged with him just about everywhere he goes. You know, everywhere I went, that's all I heard when I stood around him is, you know, people would mimic that.
Now, the last subject I do want to ask you, I do have a couple questions off the air. It's the last one, it's how I wrap up the show. I'm a big fan of Bill O'Reilly. So, going on the record, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after being a guest on the show, how do you feel now?
Well, first reaction was, you know, I was honored, to be very honest. I thought, well, this is great, you know, and I mean, that's the first thing how I thought about it. And yes, you know, as I mentioned earlier, I love to talk with people, meet new people. Let's put it that, you know, as I mentioned, I have a new boss every week, a new cast, crew, director, producer, just about every week with the work that I do. And so, you know, I appreciate it, and now we're talking with you. As I mentioned, and I'll repeat it, you know, I have a lot of respect for you, and this is awesome that you're doing this, and you know, it's my honor to speak with you, and you know, talk, and you know, I just hope this is not the last time we get to talk again. I hope to talk again with you and keep in touch with you as well. You know, not just a one-time thing, and but it's what I expected, and you know, this is something that I do every week. So you know, thank you, Keith. You know, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the opportunity to get to meet with you, talk with you, and share some of the things that's going on in my personal life and get to know you as well.
Like I said, hey, you're supporting a good cause and you're making a new friend out of it.
Yeah, well, that's important to me.
Well, stay tuned. I have a couple questions off the air about wrapping up our interview segment. It was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest. And I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Yeah, thank you. Look forward to it too.